P collab, man. Oakland Vallejo, the Bay Area, stand up. I'm from that town. She from Vallejo. He said let's collab. She said okay. We all should play. Hot potato. Whoever got the hottest one. Challenge accepted. It's me, I'm the best. Like creative players on hundreds, no less. The lines in your forehead just told me you stressing. Got G-O-D on me side. Ooh, he blessed me. All these lies they tell it's a vaccine. They're acting it's so bad like it's wrestling. Keep my circle so small it's insane. If you made the cut then you're part of my team. Just like bowling at plank or strikes don't cut her. Attracted to the mind but I like mine's hooder. She gotta have a pretty face too.
That was a lot, that intro.
Right?
Welcome to the channel. I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. I just woke up. I was napping. So I'm like, if I'm a little like groggy, I apologize. But I'm excited to be here. I'm very excited because we now know we're close to the season finale. Let's welcome James. He's always here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This episode for me was a little boring. I don't know if it was just me, but there wasn't much until the end. I feel like they're just extending it so that we can see Kyle and Mauricio's divorce. And
absolutely. They definitely refilmed it.
They had to. Well, to start the episode, we're going to start on some bullshit. Erica went to see Dr. Jen. Now, the last time we saw Erica with Dr. Jen, it was tragic. It was makes you question the strength of psychology. I'll say that. She was told to have empathy, and she said, how do I get that? What is that? All you have to do, Erica, to have empathy is think of your own self. Think of your own self and how you would feel. And then try to extend that to another person. So this time, she speaks about it being scary that she does not have Tom Girardi anymore as a financial net. And then she goes further down the rabbit hole of things she probably should not speak about on TV no more, and says and mentions this appeal again. Let me just say this. Erica Jane, aka Erica Girardi, aka wife who received millions for money that was meant for victims, she's not going to let us forget that she won one court case. She's not going to let us forget. So I'm kind of over Erica's storyline, I think. I'm tired of hearing about the fraud. And then the Housewives and the Hustler Part 2, it did premiere.
I still need to catch it, by the way. I have not
watched
it yet.
Some of it, and then I stopped because she met up with some previous victims of his, and she was just like very cold with them. And I'm just like, now why would she do that? Why would she do that? But she's
very cold in like what capacity? What are we talking about?
So she met with the mother of a burn victim from the San Bruno explosion that happened with PG&E. And all I saw, because I'm not completed with it, is she sits down to eat with them at a restaurant, and she wouldn't even start the conversation. They're like, all right, well, I guess we'll start. Do you even, feel bad about the victims? And Erica says something along the lines of, okay, for which case? There's a lot going on with court. What victims? Girl, do you feel bad or do you not? And so you kind of saw her, like, first she started off like kind of cold, narrow, straight, like as if an attorney like guided her, and then it turned into just her being a bitch a little bit.
I don't think I'm gonna watch this just because I don't have the bandwidth and the capacity to sit there and watch this privileged ass white lady be even more cruel and more inhumane for a very serious thing. I don't think I have the capacity to watch this.
That's part of the reason I turned it off, though, because it made me mad. I was like, you can't give any negativity toward these people. You can't have an attitude. You can't do that.
It's not even my fault. And I really want to tell someone I'm sorry that this happened to you, and you deserve justice for you know, the loss, the misery, the pain that I couldn't even imagine somebody would have
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah.
response to what has happened due to this. And for her to sit up there and, as you explained, have no compelling reaction to
Mm-hmm.
this while simultaneously you benefited from this for many years. It is sickening.
And
Like
what
like
you're
Nia
saying,
Green said.
it is sickening, but what you said is extremely important. She benefited from stolen property for at least a decade, at least, because they're saying there's stuff going back to the 80s.
Oh,
It's
I'm sure that she's benefiting from more than just the last 10 years. There's definitely, I'm
probably,
sure from the beginning of that marriage. I'm sure
and in
because
some ways, even her current home. I know she spoke about selling things from the old house to get her current home to attain new things. So she's still very much so benefiting down to the scandal, bringing her fame. It's
yeah, I'm gonna say alleged. It's to protect your channel and myself. I'm gonna say allegedly when I said I'm sure, but what I'm gonna say is this: I don't want to watch a documentary of a woman trying to obtain property, valuables, and things like that that has more than likely been purchased with that money. I don't want to see that. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't want to see that because to me that is so like you should be wanting to let all that go.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's really sad when you think about it. I don't
It
really
just
have
makes
much
me
to say.
her tagline comes into my mind. You know, the best thing about losing it all is getting it all back. So her mindset is not even trying to move on from the situation. She's trying to obtain that old life back.
Yeah, and that's what similar to Naya's comment. She's showing us she cares more about the money loss than the families. I mean, yeah, I don't think she gives a crap. She said it last season and they showed it. I don't give a fuck about anybody except myself. And while to some extent we all put ourselves first because you should, just like the airline's gonna tell you to put your oxygen mask on first and then help others,
Mhm.
but she's missing the second part of then help others. So that's why
But
I
the problem
appreciate.
is that the problem that I have with her with all of this is not the simple fact that we're not telling you not to care about yourself because you absolutely should. To some degree, you were wronged by your husband. There's no negating that. But the problem that I have with this is the fact that on the backs of other people, you were able to live a glamorous life and you were able to obtain the things you wanted. You said in the tagline, I believe it was season 6 or 7, you said most people dream about their fantasies and I am living mine. You made it apparent to prim and poke your lifestyle of what you could obtain, not only as a rich woman, but then a rich white woman by saying that you could actually live the fantasy that is afforded to you off the backs of other people. And that is what is sickening about this whole situation the more I think about it. So when she sits up there with that therapist and talks about how she was upset at the other women for not having any compassion for her when it was like, wow, how dare you? How dare you?
Well, she is a true narcissist. In
Right.
my opinion, she won't admit that she's one. That's a sign that you're just saying. And she finds a way to make herself the victim. Naya had commented that earlier. Her therapist, and Naya says, I can't with the therapist. Dr. Jen has always been controversial in her methods to people who are a part of the psychological community practicing and to just regular people with common fucking sense, like yourself, James, myself. Um, I never really cared for Dr. Jen, so I'm agree with you, boo. That's all I'm gonna say because I don't want to go down a rabbit hole of what's wrong with Dr. Jen. But moving it along, next thing we see is Sutton visit this damn horse, Santos. Kyle comes to see her. Seems like they're headed in a more positive direction, though I still personally feel like Sutton, you can't trust Kyle. Be nice, be friendly, have fun, but you can't trust you cannot trust her.
I was just about to say that. I felt like I was like, why is she here? They just took that so out of place. It looked so random. And I get they have a long-standing friendship. I understand all of that. But for me, I'm sorry. There's no way I could be Kyle's friend after what she just did and how she just acted. There's no way I could sit there with Kyle and break bread with her. There's no way.
Remember, you guys, Kyle is the person who fed Anne-Marie the information that she needed in order to do the bullshit that she did. Kyle always does this, though, and this is why some people want her gone. Some people, you know, there's always stands and fans, but a lot of people want her gone because of this. She'll throw rocks and then hide her hands. Like, I just don't understand it. But Sutton speaks about calling her ex. He's moving out of the country. She says she wished him well and wanted to say goodbye. And the trip in Spain actually did something for her. I thought it was odd that we find out her ex lives down the street. But she says that she's now going to feel a little bit more alone. And it seemed like when talking about their relationship, it seems like Sutton and her ex might regret not going to therapy, which is odd, but they still seem to be pushing forward with moving on. But I couldn't help but notice, like, she said they both talked about that. I'm like, well, if you're divorced already, why are y'all talking about what could have been if you went to therapy? Maybe y'all should have took your happy asses to therapy.
It seemed like to me, I'm gonna be honest with you, when I was listening to her, it seemed like they were trying to get the best of each other. By it was kind of like that. I'm going to show you I can do this. I'm going to show you I don't need you. I'm going to show you that you'll need me more than it seems like it was like two little kids fighting over a popsicle. It was very like it was giving me that, and it was like, okay, did y'all want to get the divorce or did you not want to get the divorce? What is going on here? Because y'all cannot need each other this much.
Right. Because I was like, wait, he lived down the street, y'all going through all of this. But sometimes, especially couples that have been together for a very long time, sometimes people get impulsive. Sometimes people jump the gun. Maybe they wanted to know what life was like as adults without each other. I don't fucking know. But I'm like,
it's weird. It was just weird. It was like, and not to mention, y'all, she said they've been divorced for 7 or 8 years.
Right.
I thought this shit just happened. So I'm even more confused with her. Maybe she just should have just kept this story to herself and not said anything. Like, no, I'm being serious. Maybe she shouldn't have said anything, because I really thought, now if Sutton was divorced, like, I'm gonna give her the last 3 years, then I would understand this conversation. Because you are going to be in the motions, you are going to naturally miss them, you're going to naturally understand that life without them is not always going to be easy because you depended on them so much. But the fact of the matter is, this lady really just got up on this camera and said 7 to 8 years that she has been divorced from this man.
Almost
and you acting like almost a decade, and you ain't moved on, you ain't act. If I'm divorced 7 to 8 years, I might be married to somebody else. That's how I look at it.
That's honestly normal statistically. People are like well into dating or move the fuck on after that long. But in my opinion, just based on when she finally explained how they had agreed to do therapy and then he just boom, suddenly filed for divorce, but then he calls to warn her, it sounds like, I don't think they're done with each other. I'm gonna just say that. That's my.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either. I think that he didn't creeped over a couple nights a week, and
that's why Sutton.
That's what that looked like to me.
Yeah. We gonna agree. We definitely gonna agree.
Yeah.
But then the conversation turns to some more bullshit that don't really make sense. Kyle and Mauricio. Kyle says, as we know in the last episode, Kyle revealed that she and Mauricio are now in therapy together. And that what they've discovered in therapy is that their careers are causing a rift in their relationship. And they're also about to be empty nesters, which is a relevant point. She feels like she did a lot with being a mom and wife so that he could go and build the agency, which for those who've watched Beverly Hills since the beginning, season 1, Kyle hadn't done any acting or had businesses prior to that show she was on back when TV was black and white. Um, she was a wife. It was the Real Housewives back then. They actually used to draft housewives onto the show. So I guess years later, now that she's about to be an empty nester and is also experiencing extreme amounts of time away from her spouse because of both of their careers, she seems to be thinking of herself more. Seems like she wants to feel appreciated, but I think she also just wants to build a career and maybe have him support her. What did you think of what Kyle revealed about this, the longest divorce ever?
I think she was full of shit, personally. I think she was full of shit. I think this whole conversation was bullshit, and I feel like this was something that was always going on, but for images and appearances, because remember, Kyle is pretentious. So for images and appearances, they were keeping up the facade, and they just can't keep it up. And I'm looking at Mauricio; he looks completely different, season 1 to season today, and I'm just saying, I get people age, but he has aged a good 20 years being on this show.
Yeah. I mean,
And
people have to remember being on TV is hard as hell by itself. Now imagine your relationship under that same microscope.
Right.
So I don't doubt that there are issues that have been in this relationship. I actually always thought that there were and believed Alison Dubois seasons ago when she told Kyle with that cigarette, you're not going to feel fulfilled. I was like, oh, Lord. She was right. People have been joking online saying she was right, but she really was right. Moving on, because I just don't feel like giving Kyle the energy.
I don't either. That's why I'm shocked you're talking about her as long as you is.
There's only so much we can say. She's doing interview after interview. She's doing the most. We see Garcelle and her sons. I want Garcelle to stop filming scenes with these young men. I think they're both good kids. They seem to have their head on their shoulders. She's not talking about them getting bad grades. One of them has a girlfriend and seems to be interested in just that girlfriend. They seem like great young men. But after what happened with my child when Diana Jenkins was on this show, I wouldn't have or let my motherfucking kids near a camera affiliated with NBC or Bravo. I just wouldn't. But separate from that, I feel like this scene was not needed and it was also boring. They want more freedom. They're 15. She's going to let them take Uber to some places alone. Garcelle, we love you, but as the show continues,
is that your computer going crazy?
It is. I'm turning it off.
Oh, okay. I was like, I thought it was mine. I'm over here looking at everything. I was like, wait, hold on.
It keeps going off too. I just turned it off.
I was about to apologize to you because I was like, oh my God, I think that's my computer, but
no,
I don't know what could be going on.
Y'all could hear it. I just got blown up on Instagram.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I was
so sorry.
No, that's okay. I just thought it was me. That's all. And so I couldn't find what it was. That's why I was like, okay, maybe it's not.
I hate when people blow each other up, like, especially because I'm not a social media person. Like 40 notifications, bro. Whoever you are, like, I know you can. Come on, that's a lot at once. That's why it was bloom, bloom, bloom.
You doing too much. Go ahead.
But yeah, Garcelle, I need her to give more. I feel like she has gotten by thus far because one, we gave her grace. She's the first Black housewife and really first housewife of color on this show, outside of the Hispanic Puerto Rican lady Joyce from seasons ago. She speaks her mind when it counts. Like with Erica, how we'll see later, she's going to stand on what she said, but I want to see her go on a date or do something. I don't care to see these boys. It's boring. Let them go run off with their friends and do whatever things that teenagers do. That's how I feel.
I 100% agree with you. I don't want to see, just because the one that she was talking about the freedom, that's the one I want her to pop in the mouth. Yeah. So I'm kind of with you on that one. So I don't want to see. I get it's her life, and I get that they're a part of her life. Handsome boys. I just that one particular twin, just in general, I feel like he is doing the most and challenging her. And I guess she can't be the normal Black mama on the show and pop him in his mouth, because then she'll go to jail because they got the proof. But I don't know. I just don't want to see it because I could never at that age talk to my mama like that. Just couldn't. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't. Honestly, at this age, I probably couldn't. So and I'm 31. I
Well,
still
no,
would.
at this age, me and my mom have a different relationship. We're more so of like the friends because one, we live 2,000 miles away from each other. And then two, it's kind of one of those situations where my mom is a hip mom anyway. She was never one of those old fashioned ass moms. My mom was like very, just I don't want to say the term like, free spirited because she's not a free spirit, but she's like, you allowed to you can express yourself. Ain't nothing I can do to you.
That's how my dad is. I could talk to my dad like I talk to my partners, but I could not talk to my mom like that. Them African people, they are very traditional, very Southern, and very But my dad, he don't care. But that man is crazy. Shout out to my dad. Moving it along, Naya said, I don't have the freedom now to talk like that. Listen, either way, I think everyone can agree that the way he talks to his mama just be a little like off-putting. We'll say that.
Yeah, it's all. I was to say that's the perfect word. It's off-putting, and then it's strange, Garcelle. We looking at you with both our eyes, like what the hell going on around here? It makes me wonder that relationship with that dad, what that's like, and what the conversations in that household be like. Because
the Lord only knows, child.
No, I'm trying to tell you.
So the next thing we see is Sutton go on another date. I think it seems like she likes this guy. He's quirky like her in a weird way. They shoot darts. She seemed more comfortable. Sutton can date. It's just Sutton is, I think, certain people who are unique, real, and or memorable. They can't just be with like anybody. There's someone for everybody, and some people just have to take their time to find someone. She seemed to like him, but
I don't know. I was getting mixed feelings about it when I was watching it. I feel like she did like him, but I feel like she was measuring him up to her husband in her mind.
That's what she's gonna do. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like she was measuring him up, and see, and that's the thing, and that's why I say I don't feel like she's over this husband. I don't feel like she's over him at all. I think that she loved. I think she loved being his wife. I just think she didn't like being married to him.
Yeah, it sounds like that when she explains like they're divorced too. There's no cheating. There was just it. There's all. Yes, I agree. I feel like James could like really figure out what the hell and get to the bottom of things, but we can't.
Right? No, because you have to really listen to what people say, and listen to the tone of how they say it, and put it into the context of what they're talking about, and you'll get everybody's answers. That's how life is supposed to be, and people tell you very clear their intentions, their being, and their will. All about how they open their mouth and how they convey their message. So you have to listen to what they're saying, the tone of how they say it, and then the context of what they're talking about. And then there you have your answer.
Lord Jesus, he gave y'all a word. I hope you catch it.
They won't. They won't. They won't, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people feel I don't know what I'm talking about. And that's fine. If that doesn't work for you, that's fine. I've studied people for over 15 years. I'm an author. I write books, and this is the reason. One of the 5 reasons that I became an author in the first place is to create the creativity that I see and understand from my being.
Wait. So we did see Kyle and Mauricio discuss. They discussed therapy. I just woke up, y'all, so I'm not gonna be the nicest probably, but he seems to want to prepare and focus, and feels like their issues are because they're going to be empty nesters. He also seems to acknowledge the fact that they do work a lot. Kyle seems to be the one struggling, and he seems to care, but she doesn't seem to appreciate even the small efforts that he seems to put forth. I don't trust it. I've seen article after article saying that insider after insider is telling the press that this is not real or for the camera.
It doesn't seem real. It just doesn't. So I believe every bit of it.
We got a clip of next week, the finale, where we see the daughters crying. These daughters are all old enough to comply and go with what they're told to, go with. So
I agree. That's why I say I don't know what we're crying for. But at the end of the day, I feel like this. I feel like this is some bullshit. I feel like if they're okay, so let's say it is real. She's not putting into clear context why she's really angry with him. And we can see that she's angry with him. She is not putting into context what went wrong or what she played a part in that could have been in the demise of their relationship. She was only putting it off on him. And when they showed the flashback, those were the examples. She was talking about his work and how he's trying to open up more offices and how that's taking up time. But ma'am, you in the same breath just told Sutton that y'all did not have all of this and you wanted to continue to grow and build the brand, and that was the main focus. So why now is it now a problem when this is what you wanted? And that's why I say y'all have to be careful about what y'all ask for, what y'all want in life, and what you're willing to receive. Because at the end of the day, this is what you wanted. It's what she wanted, y'all. And go back and watch season 1. You don't have to take my word for it. Go back and watch season 1 and listen to what she said. This is exactly what she wanted.
What else I feel like? And I went through this at one time where for me, I'll distance myself from friends, but some people handle it differently. When you've been with your spouse for so long and you've posted the pictures, and as Kyle has done, gloated on having the perfect marriage or at least having everything, and then it doesn't go to how you want it to go. I think a piece of it is that she'll never be able to be truly honest with what's going on with her marriage on this show, because that would force her to face the fact and feel the embarrassment of seeing that the world knows that her marriage is not perfect and all of that. And James has said it before, Kyle is pretentious, and people who are pretentious often care the most about how they are received or how things look and are perceived when it comes to them. So
absolutely.
Yeah, she, I don't doubt that she's going through something, but I have no doubt in my mind that she's incredibly disingenuous with what she's expressing, how she's expressing it, and what we have been told on the show. I'm not saying I expect all her business, but I don't like bullshit. So it's like, if just leave, Kyle. Take a break. Come off that camera. Go heal your family and yourself. And then you never know. Your marriage could work, it could not, but please go heal. Moving it along. Because we can only talk so long. I think they really expected recappers to be just like analyzing this interaction with Kyle and Mauricio.
They sure did, because I'm telling you, they played a lot of it, and it was like, we pretty much know what we're getting. We've watched the show long enough with these two. We know what we're getting here. There's nothing that could surprise me about Kyle and Mauricio at this point. There's nothing that could surprise me. They can be Bonnie and Clyde robbing banks and shooting people, and I still wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I definitely do want to say, though, I do think he was probably cheating or something, though, that she probably really don't want to say. I feel like that's a piece of it.
I feel like... Go ahead, because I have a thought.
It may not be like, I'm not saying he went and slept with someone, but I feel like maybe an emotional connection or something with somebody. I don't know.
I feel like, and this is allegedly, because I can't prove it. I feel like if he did do it, it wasn't something that was new. I feel like if he was cheating on her at any point in time, this wasn't new information. I feel like this is something that's probably has gone on for quite some time. And before it gets out, she's probably trying to get it. She'll probably try to get ahead of it before it comes out, because then it's going to make her look crazy, and then also make him look like, the asshole I really think that he is. But for me, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised how long I'll put it this way. I wouldn't be surprised if he cheated first year of their marriage up until today.
I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't be surprised. I just wouldn't. Yeah, because it just seems like, you would keep this a secret. You would allow it to happen, because at the end of the day, you the wife and you know the bottom line. That's what Californians think. See, the problem with Californians, and that's why y'all got to be careful when you get one. We always see the bottom line. And depending on how, and we never go outside of that bottom line. We sign our signatures right at the top, because we know when we go through that bottom line, that means in some way we agree to either all or most of what they're doing. So when we sign on that line, believe me, it does not touch that bottom. We always gonna be on the top. So that's why I said it. I could believe if he's cheated, it wasn't nothing new. This was something that had happened many years before.
Lord, we shall see. It looks like the next episode on the finale will get a lot of Kyle, so maybe it'll give us clarity. I highly doubt it. Anne Marie, and shout out to the doctor that watches my recaps. She said I read Anne Marie for filth, but appreciated the statement of nurses support doctors. And Anne Marie, if you're going to take your profession so seriously, at least speak on it appropriately, acknowledge and give respect to your colleagues, whether they're doctors, CNAs, and whoever they are, you know, and know that you're not God, you're a nurse. And that's
I want her to stop, just in general. I just want her
she
to stop.
keeps doing interviews that are not helping her. What's good? Wow, welcome in. Thank you for being here. And it drives me crazy, but she has a Mother's Day event. The event did come out nice from what we saw. It looked like she didn't have enough waffles though, and that bothered me. But anywho, everybody, James, don't laugh at me. Listen, everybody knows in my family, I'm the one who's going to carry it with the cooking, the events, those type of things. Like I make sure people have like a plate that they could take home with them. She didn't have enough waffles or syrup for the waffles that she did have. Anywho,
Girl, if you...
everybody, okay,
I'm done. I'm done with you because I can't believe she said she didn't have enough waffles.
She didn't. There was like one little corner of like this half-assed mountain of waffles. It wasn't even full.
Oh God, girl, stop this. It was a nice event. I will
It
give.
was
I
nice.
will give
Just
her
wanted
a
more
little,
waffles.
any teeny weeny little bit of compassion. She did a nice job.
That's not her fault though, the waffles. That's the caterers who was making the food for the event. That's not even her fault. Okay.
Right.
But
Right.
there
Right.
wasn't
Yeah.
enough. Maybe people ate them. Anywho, everybody's getting ready for the event. And we see they're going to the clip showing people getting ready. The only one that was worth stopping on was Doris and PK. She calls him on FaceTime. It's Mother's Day. And she's hoping that he'll be able to come home. Naya said it's a great spread for people who nibble. It what? Who nibble? It what?
I'm not doing this with y'all tonight. I done told y'all. I am not doing this tonight with y'all. I'm not doing this. Not people who nibble. Naya, you ain't right.
There was nothing there to make like a good breakfast. Ooh, I love a good breakfast. I want sausages. I want big waffles. I want grits with some shrimp. I love breakfast, y'all. Moving it along. Apologies. Me and my husband, we love a good breakfast though. PK is away on business, paying off the alleged 1 million plus in debt that they owe. He's working, which he should be. Doris has been complaining about him working and is upset that he's not there for Mother's Day. He didn't care. He said, "And you're not my mother." I said, "Oh, damn."
I said, well, Doris.
And she says, "But I'm the mother of your kids." He said, "It's no big deal." Stop calling PK on camera, Dorit. Okay? Naya said it best. I'm going to actually just leave what Naya said and leave
I
it
agree.
there.
I
PK
agree with
is
Naya's
over her
comment.
shit.
Yeah, absolutely. As he should be.
He
should be.
He should. He called her
Cause
PTSD high maintenance.
Because look, Doris is full of shit 99.9% of the time. And ain't nobody finna go through this with her. Like, what the fuck is the problem?
I think
you can't even say it because yeah, we can't determine.
I don't know what's wrong with Doris. What I do know is the biggest turnoff to anybody, not just a man or a woman, is somebody who is so into themselves or into the things that they have. I think after a while it gets old. And I notice when she says, "But baby," that man's eye twitches in a way that looked like he irritated. I think PK is tired of the accent and wondering where the Connecticut women that he found went. That's just my personal thought. Let's see. She said Gail isn't paying her attention. She has acted a fool because of that. Oh, Naya.
I just feel like whoever Doris is in company of, that's the accent she's going to mimic. So I'm not. I'm just not feeling her. I'm just not. I'm not. I've never liked Doris. Y'all know this.
Do you remember seasons ago when they accused Yolanda of Munchausen's?
Yes.
I always felt like Dorit is the one who might be the person who would do something like that.
Right. Because I never believed she. You look. They do a lot of goofy shit on this show. They really do. With accusing people of doing the most horrendous shit I've ever seen in my life. But when you actually accuse somebody of that, like, wow. And Doris, of all people, sitting right there.
Listen.
Okay.
Dorita's a mess. I can't stand her, but her husband can't either. So I'll leave it there. I'll be easy on her. He can't. That man seems aggravated every time she's asking for something. He be trying to eat
because she's like, baby.
He be trying to chill,
oh my
his
God.
pizza, drink his beer. Dorit always fucking wants something. I know.
And I don't say this word often, but I know PK is like, this bitch, really? like I know he has to say this in his mind. I'm sorry, and I don't say that, guys. I rarely call women. Only time I call a woman a bitch is if I'm watching a horror movie. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. I cannot help myself. I am so sorry, y'all. That's why I'm trying to get my horror movie thing on this channel, because I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about. Lord. Yes, but for me, there's no way I'm looking at this man's face. I was looking at him on that phone when she held the phone up, and I'm like, look at that. He's saying bitch on under his breath. Like, he really is.
He is. He's thinking, he's seeing the letters for bitch dance and spell and do little jigs in his eye. I'm telling you.
Yes, absolutely.
Allegedly, they have been having problems as well, but they're just keeping it more under wraps than, whatever the fuck Kyle and Mo.
They always been. First of all, she need to tell the truth of why she even got with him in the first place. We could start there. Let's start from the beginning, because there's no way. I was looking at him. I meant to text you this. I was looking at him not too long ago, and I said, and before the teeth got fixed, and I said, money is beautiful. It's green, it's thin, and got a whole bunch of white men on them. And don't matter what white hand it's on, y'all women are always gonna think it's beautiful and look beyond whose hand it's in. I'm just saying.
Yeah, because even though we don't care for Doris, she's not unattractive. She's a beautiful woman. And looking at PK, I don't know. Moving on.
Look, let me tell you. I'll put it this way. Tom makes sense. He do. Tom makes sense. When you look at him when he was 60 and Erica was in her 20s, and that makes sense. And he's much older than Erica. This don't make no sense. And I think she's trying
pizza.
She's trying to make fetch happen with this marriage. I'm telling y'all, I know what I'm looking at.
Yes, and it's nothing to. If my husband ever plans a romantic date for me and fixes himself to dress me up like Julia Roberts and call me a high-priced hooker, I don't give a damn. I do love that movie too, but I don't. What? Like, what are we? Is that what we're doing?
Let me tell you something. That's how I know she goofy. That's how I know she goofy. Because I would have been thinking, well, she didn't know. We'll give her that. She didn't know at that moment until she got there and then realized what the shit was. And that's when I would have took that hair. I'd have took my hair out of that bouffant. And I would have walked my ass down that damn lobby and called me an Uber and got the fuck on. You're not finna play with my feelings, but that's how I said. She a goofy broad. She a goofy broad. That's what I said. She goofy. I can't with her. I can't with Doris. I just cannot.
Doris is a little kooky, but I think Sutton might be a little kookier. They're just in a more
I don't care what anybody in who watched last night's episode. talked about Sutton, I was living for every moment.
Let me tell you this. Sutton is that person who comes to the event and understands BYOB even without you having to tell them BYOB.
Right.
Sutton, I'm not going to lie though. Sutton is me. I carry a Case Bay bag with me and I tend to keep cranberry juice in it. Let me tell you, ocean spray, grapefruit, cranberry, whatever it is, it's a great thing to have with you. It's a wonderful thing. But she put it in the temperature controlled mug so that her drink stayed cold. Sutton said she called the event Diamonds and Champagne. I'm going to need something stronger to deal with these bitches. You came for my esophagus. I need Tito's. Hand me the handle. And then for her to still be added liquor.
Wait a minute. She was killing me when she was pouring that shit in that cup. I was laughing so hard because that lady said that was a heavy pour.
Let me tell y'all, people in the South, in my opinion, having family in New Orleans and Mississippi, they drink differently. Like, they drink differently is what I'm going to say. And we, listen, Sutton's still a girl from the South.
Sutton, that's why she's my favorite housewife. I'm sorry. I still can see her pouring that fucking liquor in that thing.
I knew she was lit walking up those, no rails. Now, Sutton.
No, hold on. I'm with Sutton on that shit. Avery, come on now. You know your ass is supposed to have some rails with the thick ass stairs. Come on now. Let's not do that. That is a liability waiting to happen to you. And come on, you on the board of the whole nursing program. Come on. What is the problem, Anne-Marie? Why you ain't got no rails? Thank you to the man who held that tray and helped Sutton up them stairs. Thank you. Just saying.
Sutton gave me a laugh. This is why I love her. A good housewife is not supposed to just read people for filth. She should make you laugh in ways that are entirely unintentional. This is why people love Sutton. Moving it along, Sutton had her own drink and was tipsy. She came to the party right, in my opinion. We see Crystal and Anne-Marie talk. Anne-Marie is still referring to her innate disrespect of Sutton getting involved in stuff that has nothing to do with her, not minding her business, and then being disrespectful, over talking people, condescending, as well as passive aggressive somehow all at once. She's still calling what she has done just a passion for her profession. I want to make this very clear on my channel, as I've done, and James has helped me with. We have done this from the beginning of this stupid ass esophageal scandal. Like, no one has attacked Anne-Marie's profession, because to attack her profession is to attack nurses. I've had surgeries. I've been in hospitals. At one point, I was studying to be a nurse myself. I have so much respect for nurses. My grandmother is a retired nurse with the VA hospital. Shout out to them. So I respect nurses. I respect what they do. They really are the heartbeat of most hospitals, clinics, doctor's office, you name it. They are intelligent. They are useful. They make a difference. I have friends who are nurses, but nobody has attacked her profession of nursing at all. People have attacked your whack ass attitude. The fact that your husband only views you as an 8 in the forehead, that's a 12. So we're not attacking your profession. Just saying.
I need her to stop doing that. Like, I need her to stop, like, trying to play something, you know, to distract people from what the real issue is. Oh, she's coming from my profession. Look at her. We can very much believe that you told that lady that you were an anesthesiologist versus a nurse esthetician or whatever the fuck you are. We can believe it.
I feel like she would say that because she's saying, I'm a nurse anesthetist. I have nurses in my family. Usually they'll say, like, there's someone who's a surgical nurse in my family. There's a name for it. When people ask her, oh, I'm a nurse. She's not like, oh, I'm a nurse anesthetist. I'm this, I'm that.
Yeah,
like,
and I want you to know exactly what I do as a nurse. When it was like, so what?
Share that with other colleagues in the medical field who understand
what that really is. Because most people have never had surgery before and not know that you're needed to facilitate my IV bag.
Yeah.
So come on. So nobody's going to know that if they've never had surgery. And a lot of times those conversations happen before the surgery. So no one's going to know this. So for you to sit up there and say, oh, she's playing with my profession, it was like, no. You probably did tell her that, just like she told you some shit about the other women, which we believe Crystal said. I believe Crystal said it. I don't believe she said it in that context, but I believe she said some of it.
She probably did say some of it. I think Anne-Marie takes things, as we saw her do with the eating disorder thing, and
she definitely take the chicken, put way too much hot sauce.
If y'all gonna fire Monica Garcia from Salt Lake City or put her on pause, as they've said, Bravo, y'all better fire Anne-Marie, because
they're not gonna fire Anne-Marie. Let me explain why.
Doesn't give anything.
They're not gonna fire her. They're not gonna fire her because at the end of the day, they need another Black lady on this show, and they're going to keep her because she's problematic in probably some of the best ways.
Can they just find another Black lady?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
listen, find another Black lady. There are lots of rich Black people in LA.
Yeah, there really is.
There are.
They may not be in Beverly Hills, but they in Baldwin Hills, definitely. So
listen, they're there.
They're there. So, trust me.
They are there. I know a lot of the wealthy people here in the Bay are moving to Studio City. There's so many neighborhoods.
They're moving to Studio City, Sherman Oaks, Porter Ranch. They're moving to Santa Clarita, which if I had to go back to California, that's where I would be. Santa Clarita.
Santa Clarita, that's a safe place to be.
It is very safe, very safe and inexpensive. Yes, absolutely.
But it's wild to me. It's just wild. But Crystal says what I think was the best thing she said. She says they're going to agree to disagree. I think that's all you can say to someone who is literally desperate for a moment of relevancy. But if Anne-Marie wants to stay on this show and be roasted, then fine. But NBC in the call center, I'm addressing you, Thug. Listen, please replace her with another African-American lady or somebody Mexican, Hispanic, Latino, somebody of color. I really don't give a damn, just as long as it's not Anne-Marie. That's how I feel.
She said her time is done. Please get her off my screen.
It was exhausting to watch. Like, by trying to defend your profession, you're making a mockery of it. And
I agree.
And just be quiet. I agree. Anywho, we then see Erica speak on the group and, you know, how they stand up for each other. Here she goes with the same fucking sad monologue. She was disappointed. I can't wait to get like a soundboard, because I would literally have the little sad violin playing like at the end of the Titanic, because that's what Erica hears when she's discussing herself. It's ridiculous. She's disappointed in the group's treatment of her. What she means by that is she doesn't like that people didn't automatically take her side without holding her accountable. None of the ladies turned their back on her. None of the ladies refused to film with her, which they could have done. And with the money that people on this platform have, I'm pretty sure the network would have listened. They didn't ice her out as they could have. They still tried to hear her out. And when they heard her out, she lacked empathy. She makes it seem as though these women have not given her a chance to speak. She makes it seem as though she's not had a chance to explain herself. She makes it seem like they've wronged her. They did more than they should have. Because if I had money like them ladies, I would do what Sutton did, calling my ex, calling my lawyer, saying, is this going to affect me or my money? I would be doing that, and I wouldn't film.
I think anybody with common sense would be doing that. I think anybody who has something to protect would be doing that. And I feel like half them ladies that are sitting up there, especially Kyle, consulted a lawyer to make sure that this wouldn't reflect on them, because half of them have filmed with her for more than a few seasons with that money. So what I want people to understand is that makes them accessories if Erica's ever paid for a dinner, if Erica's ever paid for any type of clothing, a gift, that makes them an accessory because they're taking something that is being alleged stolen from victims. So of course, they want to make sure they're not going to be liable and somewhat have to adjudicate or even speak for her as a character witness in this trial, because I would want no involvement in it. I honestly would not. So
nobody wants to be involved in court. Don't matter.
And for her, and this, I'm gonna say this about Erica, and for her not to understand that being married to a lawyer, That was what was killing me. So for her to sit there and get mad at Sutton for doing what all of them should have been doing was crazy. And Sutton, I was so disappointed in you.
For apologizing.
I was so disappointed in you.
If anyone at that table owed Erica spit in her coffee, it would be Sutton. She don't owe that lady not a damn thing. She was genuinely bullied. Erica didn't give Crystal the same energy as Sutton. She didn't give Dorit the same energy. Erica knows what she's doing and is calculated.
And she sure the fuck didn't give Garcelle no energy about either.
Oh, she knows better. She still won't. Yeah. She still won't. Erica she really is narcissistic. She's just going to lack accountability. When she does ask the ladies of the group and they discuss the issues at that table, everyone said the same thing. The issue is how you responded and handled the accusations. Right. You lacked compassion and you lacked empathy. That's just something that is a fact. She can't seem to take that. Now, for some reason, Erica cries and Sutton does apologize, which is some bullshit. But I do respect Garcelle and Dorit for standing on what they said. I will give them that. I will give Dorit that. Because they're the only two that really haven't given in to give an apology. Kyle's been kissing her ass, and we've seen Crystal and now Sutton apologize. Erica has not apologized to anyone, though, she has, but she needs to apologize to audiences of the show, the victims, somebody for lacking empathy. Like, we could feel
I feel like for me, I feel like she needs to do more. You need to be volunteering in homeless shelters. You need to be going around on tour exposing your husband, because there's not much he can do to you at this point. So you need to tell your side of the story to where if you really did not know, which I'm sorry, I don't believe this, but if you really did not know, you need to be on tour doing apologies like, hey, look, on his behalf, I just could not imagine what this is like for you. And I honestly did not know, but I'm here to apologize, and I will say all that I can to exonerate myself from this, but also make sure it's clear that he needs to do something to restitute all of you.
Yeah. She's not going to do it. She's been advised. She's not going to do it. But, I respect the two who did not apologize. But that's it for this episode recap and review. We will be back again next week for the season finale. We have a new show that James will be doing on his channel for Bold and Bougie, which is a WeTV show that apparently Carlos King is a part of. So
it's another Carlos King production. Yes, congratulations to Carlos. We will be recapping that. It may be I may do a Sunday. I do not know yet. But I'm definitely going to recap it on my channel, so make sure you guys are there. I'll put an announcement on the community board of when I will premiere that show on my channel. From what I saw, because I'm about maybe 25 minutes into it, yeah. Y'all not going to want to miss this.
As long as it doesn't feel like Carlos King shows on OWN, I'm with it. And I'm open on Sundays if you decide to do it. But if this show feels better and it's Carlos King, then that's
no. I'm not saying it feels better. I feel like I'm gonna be cussing and reading people the entire time.
Oh damn! Shit.
Yeah. So let's hope that in the next 20 minutes of that show that I missed, that it turns around. Because so far, I have a question or two for Malaysia already, so I'm gonna rewatch it to make sure that's not still a question in my head. And as far as Shrek, I ain't seen her yet, so we'll see.
Oh my God. Well, thank you for watching the channel. Be sure to tune in. Check us out. We may be around on Sunday. If you want to subscribe to James's channel, ring the bell so you don't miss his notifications and things like that. The link to his channel is in the description of this video. I appreciate everybody for watching who's here now while we're live. I appreciate those who watch the live replay as well. I appreciate you all. With that, have a good night. We are gone. Bye.
Bye.